Before we get into the championship news today, guys, this isn't exactly championship related, but I just wanted to basically briefly mention the disgusting behaviour in the racism that's been going on within recently the Yeovil-Harrington match and the international break with the England-Bulgaria situation. I feel it's important to mention because it's happening within our game. Racism is still a disease that we find at the core of it, and to be honest, I never really understood it growing up. I've always been around people that were very accepting. I'm sure we've had the odd racist grandparent and we excuse their behaviour. I think it's time we stop excusing that behaviour because of people of a different generation, because you can see that in certain parts of the country, like Eastern Europe, in certain parts of Bulgaria, and I'm not generalising as a whole here, but I'm saying that it's still filtering down to younger people, and it is something we tackle in the UK. It's weird for me to talk about it. I don't like that I'm talking about it. A small part of it should be just getting rid of it from the game. I can't believe it's still in the game after all this time. I'm sure my viewers, I'm sure you all share my sentiments on this. Discrimination of any kind is not acceptable. Racism is abhorrent. If you ever see signs of it within people you care about, I guess the one thing that would be good to say is try and educate them why that's not acceptable. A lot of people don't respond well to being shouted at and told they're a certain way. If you intend to educate them on a topic, they'll be a little bit more receptive to it. I don't know, maybe that's one way we can get this disgusting disease out of this game and out of society in general. But yeah, quite a sour start to the video, but it's important to say, because I think even though I've got one of the smallest voices on the internet, it's something that I can do. You know, I can say that when I was sat there and I actually felt sickened, and not much physically makes me feel sick than watching that Bulgaria game, I knew I had to say something in this chat, the championship, and I'm sure you guys feel very similar to me in this regard. It's just not acceptable any way, shape or form. The one thing that confused me so much over the international break is why have Barnsley parted ways with Daniel Stendel? Like, I understand they're not doing amazingly well this season, but he has done wonders at that club. The fans love him, the players loved him. He seemed like a manager with a lot of potential. He was being touted for great things at the start of this season, and their board have just ridiculously sacked him for no real reason by the looks of it. Sorry, he's resigned. I just don't really get it, guys. Barnsley fans, get in the comments if you actually watched this. I'm sure that puts you off. But what is the general feeling about the Stendhal situation at the minute? Because what I have been seeing is that a lot of you guys just think it's ridiculous. You loved him. The fact that the man went into a pub with the fans afterwards to say goodbye just shows the relationship he's had with those fans. And I can understand why a lot of you aren't happy, especially when he could have done good things with you. Yes, you might have got relegated. That wasn't nailed on, to be fair, but I feel like he's a manager that could have put you in a solid situation, and don't take this the wrong way, but when you're a team that's constantly going from League One to the Championship, you don't want these temporary solutions. Stendhal could have been that long-term solution. You had to give him a little bit of leeway for that, and the fact that the board haven't done that, they've probably not given him what he wanted and what he needed. It's just a sad sacking, that, and it's one of the sides of football that's really not nice. Watched the post-match interview of the 1-1 draw they had. Was it 1-1? Well, the draw they had this weekend, and it was the assistant manager, the caretaker manager, he was saying that they've got a lot of youthful players coming in there, and I can see that within Barnsley. It is a great squad to walk into if you're sort of like a manager trying to prove yourself, but honestly, they shouldn't have parted with Stendhal. That's my take on it. What are your guys' takes on it? Stoke beat Fulham. What? I don't get what's going on with Stoke right now. Like, they're on a resurgence, it seems. Literally, like, a couple of episodes ago, I was saying, maybe even last episode, I was saying, can Nathan Jones survive all the crap he is under right now? I don't think he can claw his way out of it. And then, back-to-back wins, beating two really strong sides within the Championship in Fulham and Swansea. It just shows how open this league is. But Stoke fans, do you think Nathan Jones can turn it around? I am really concerned because we have got them on Tuesday. Wednesday play them on Tuesday, and they've just started winning, which is worrying for us. But the Stoke situation, it's a weird one because they've always had great players. They've got great players on paper. They should have been doing a lot better. Maybe Nathan Jones has got time to turn it around now, and he can kick on towards the end of the season and might just keep them up, because it looked nailed on that they were going down. But maybe Huddersfield are in more trouble now. Huddersfield aren't winning. They're unbeaten, yeah, but they're not really winning So, Stoke-Huddersfield situation could be interesting going forward. And then you've got Luton Town smashing Bristol City. Bristol City. I've heard that's a thing. I listen to you guys. But smashing them 3-0. And Luton, newly promoted side, I was hoping they'd do better than I thought they were going to do. They've been they have been that sort of side that have come up and not done that well since they've been up. But Bristol are a side I think are very solid. And yes, the results have not shown that. I wanted Bristol to do a little bit better this season. I did feel like they were going to really kick on. But losing 3-0 to Luton, well done Luton. What a performance that was, and one of the more exciting matches in the Championship this weekend. There's been quite a bit of that going on as well, with Charlton beating Derby 3-0. That was quite exciting in itself. Charlton had a bit of a blip. Well, not really a blip, but they had kind of a come down after their initial form with the draw against Fulham and the loss to Swansea. But they are coming back, and they beat a team who were tipped to be one of the promotion candidates, Derby, 3-0. So it's been a very exciting and typical Championship weekend this weekend in terms of the results. Charlton showing that they are still in that race, and it is still very tight at the top of the table. Friday night saw an absolute shambles of a match. Like, I was actually watching Wednesday. We needed more than that 1-goal lead going forward. I could see that we needed to get another goal. But I have never seen a referee blow his whistle so much, and he might as well have put on the Cardiff shirt. Sorry if there's Cardiff fans watching this. I've actually given a lot of respect to your side during this. But the soft fouls that were given against us were ridiculous. And the fact that your equaliser shouldn't have counted, and I'm not just saying that from a biased Wednesday perspective, you've got a guy interfering with play. This is the thing, we've got Wednesday fans getting on Dawson's back again, because I'm sure if you watched it on the telly you know what I'm talking about here. But he puts it in the opposite corner to where Cam's standing. The problem is, you've got the guy doing star jumps in front of him, blocking the sight of the ball, which is in the rules. Interfering with play, you're not allowed to block the sight of the ball. And the assistant referee, the linesman, he doesn't give a crap. You've also got the fact it shouldn't have been a free kick in the first place. And then they score from it. I actually said to my girlfriend as we were watching it, this is going in. I've just got a feeling we've needed that second goal. We've needed to kill the match off. We have been better than Cardiff for most of it. Coming into the second half, though, we started to slip. I'm not going to get on the team or the manager's back. I do feel like we should have finished the game off. I could see where he was going with it, bringing Nuhiu on, because usually when we do bring Nuhiu on, it gives us that dynamic of he does hold the ball up well. He just wasn't doing that game. That didn't work. That was a tactics decision that I saw where he was coming from. It just wasn't employed well on Friday night. Maybe Forestieri would have opened it up. We could have killed the game off. Taking Bannon off is always controversial. But yeah, I'm not going to dwell on that too much because I feel like, yes, it was possibly a mistake, but I could see where he was coming from with the change. It could have worked. I'd have possibly done it. So, you know, I think we can take positives from the fact that we shouldn't have lost that. It was a stupid decision. I'm not going to bang on about officiating again because I'm sick of it. It happens all the time now. The standard of Championship refereeing is awful. And I am wanting VAR more now, but I also hate VAR at the same time. I'm a football fan. I don't know what I want. But yes, Cardiff, you did very well to salvage a point there. It was a typical Warnock performance. Happy birthday to Leeds, 100 years old. They only just managed to get the win at Birmingham. That could have spoilt the party, but yes, it is always nice to celebrate a birthday, an anniversary event, whatever. And even though we have the rivalries, happy birthday, Leeds. I loved Brentford's kit as well this weekend. The kit that they're using to commemorate their ground. Something like that. I should really do better research for these videos. I know it's something to do with their ground. They're moving or something, and it's a throwback to the first kit they played in when they were in that ground. Lovely dark blue kit. And the match was pretty good, to be fair. It looked like they were going to lose it, but the 2 goals late on, from a neutral perspective, that was quite an exciting match to watch. The midweek doesn't look that exciting, to be honest. There's a chance for an upset as Luton go to Fulham. They could, if they pull it out of the bag there, they could get a decent result there. And Preston Leeds is going to be one of those scrappy affairs again. It's at Deepdale. You never know with these two sides at the minute. Preston could win it, Leeds could win it. I am seeing a very scrappy draw there, to be honest. But if you want to be in the running for those score predictions for the midweek fixtures this week, subscribe to the channel because I will be putting the templates in the community tab very shortly after this video goes up within a day or so. I'll give it time to breathe first. But yeah, I'll be taking 2 submissions this week for the midweek and the weekend results for the Chat the Championship video next week. Okay, and now it is time for the score prediction league part of the video, and this week we have Zach Brierley joining in with us, and his first prediction was a 2-1 Wednesday win against Cardiff. It was a draw. It should have been a win, though, so you were unfortunate there, my friend. We have 1-1 Blackburn Huddersfield. It is a correct prediction in terms of the result because it was a 2-2 draw, but it wasn't an exact there. We had a 3-1 Fulham win over Stoke, but Stoke shocked us all there and got the win. I put Brentford. He's put 1-0 to Brentford, not Brentford. Yeah, I was typing quite quickly. But he had a Brentford win. It was just a Brentford win. They managed to salvage it in that match. He had 3-0 Leeds against Birmingham. It was 1-0 Leeds, but it was still a correct prediction. He had Hull winning 2-0 to QPR, which is brave, to be fair. QPR could be the dark horses this season. They did beat Hull and they are currently sitting in 5th, so anything could happen for them at the minute. He had Reading and Preston drawing 2-2. Reading actually managed to beat Preston there. That was a very good result for Reading this week because Preston are a hard team to beat. He had West Brom beating Middlesbrough 2-0. They beat them 1-0, so well done there. Swansea beating Barnsley 1-0. Barnsley managed to get a draw against Swansea, so Swansea are falling off a little bit now. It's not going great for them currently. He had Bristol beating Luton 2-0, but Luton got that amazing victory 3-0 there. And he had Derby beating Charlton 3-0 when it was actually reverse of that result there, with Charlton getting a very, very impressive victory at home 3-0. So Zach joins our score prediction league with 4 correct results. Well done, mate. Thank you very much for joining. If you would like to join, guys, subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out for the templates on the community tab. That is where they all go now, and that is where I go to find all the suggestions every week for the Chat the Championship videos. If there's anything you'd like me to talk about in these Chat the Championship videos, guys, anything you'd like me to focus on, tweet at me at dexteritybox, and I will read the tweets, and if I can find enough about what you're wanting me to talk about, I will give it a good chat in the next Chat the Championship. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.